Welcome to Matt's Metal Show. Oh yeah, today we're gonna talk about Megadeth. Megadeth! Alright, they got 15 studio albums. There's a 16th one coming out this year sometime. We'll see what happens. Just the other day, Mr. Dave Ellefson decided to completely fucking embarrass himself and have private videos of himself doing some really scary shit. And he got leaked onto the internet, and then he got accused of all this fucking wrongdoings and shit. Yikes. So by the time this new album comes out, and I think it's called like The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead or some shit like that, Dave Ellefson might not be a part of Megadeth anymore. I know they released a statement saying they're kind of like distancing themselves from Mr. Ellefson. And I've had interactions with Dave Ellefson. He's kind of a fucking douchebag. So, what are you going to do? It wasn't pretty. I'll tell you that. I clicked on, Twitter, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And then I was like, holy shit. I saw way more of Dave Ellefson than I ever fucking want to see in my fucking lifetime. I was going to fucking, grab a pen and fucking stab my eyes out. Wow. So we'll see what happens there. I don't really give a fuck. I think Dave Ellefson's a fucking bitch. Fuck that guy. I remember I was at the NAMM show, and he was standing there talking to somebody. He was standing there like talking shit about Dave Mustaine to some like Australian dude. This guy he was like fucking Crocodile Dundee. I remember that. And then I was just like standing there, and I was like, hey Dave, can I get a picture with you real quick? And he was like a total dick. And he was like, well, I'm going to be over there in a couple minutes. You go stand in line. I was like, I'm not going to fucking stand in line. It was just one of those things where it was like, oh, it's fucking David Ellefson. Maybe I'll get a fucking picture with him. But no, he turned out to be a fucking asshole. And he wanted me to go stand in line and wait for his dumb ass. And I was like, dude, you're the fucking bass player for Megadeth. And you're a fucking dork. So... born again Christian, Mr. Doesn't look so good right now, Dave. You don't. David, call him Junior or whatever. He doesn't look too good now. Kind of married for 28 years, and he's fucking jacking off to some like 19-year-old who like everybody's accusing him like of fucking whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to get into it here, but good job, Dave. Thank you, David. Thank you for making me laugh. But anyways, let's get back to Megadeth. I mean, that's kind of what brought this up, because I was like, oh, fuck. I might as well rate some fucking Megadeth albums. Megadeth is one of my freaking favorite bands of, like, forever. Met Dave Mustaine, like, a bunch of times. He's a fucking dick. I got into a fight with him on Twitter once. It was awesome. He's like, whatever. Anyways, Dave's a funny guy. He's Dave, so, seen him live a bunch of times. So fuck it, man. Let's fucking rate their albums. We're going to start off with number 15, and we're going to go 15. We're on number 15. We're going to go 2013. We're going to go Super Collider. My least favorite fucking Megadeth album, like ever. And the thing about Super Collider, like, dude, if you could just remove the fucking lyrics from it, it would be way higher on my list, because musically, it fucking rocks. Lyrically, I just listened to it like a couple of minutes ago, because, I always like those albums that I fucking hate. I always like, just mellow out. Put it on, listen to it with an open mind, and see, like, why do I fucking hate this album, and kind of push that aside and not try and like it, but just try and maybe I listened to it all those times and maybe there was something wrong. No, it fucking sucks. So, I like Kingmaker. It's a great opening, and I remember I bought this album at the same time I bought Black Sabbath 13, because they came out around the same time. And so I was kind of, sharing myself between those two albums. But I remember this album, I was like, what the fuck, man? It seemed like something was off. But I remember I popped it on and I heard Kingmaker, that opening track, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, this is cool. I mean, it sounded like it had been done before. They always had this like cool opening song. But then after that, I was like, Super Collider starts off with that super fast, but it's fucking dumb. The lyrics are dumb. Burn, the lyrics are dumb. Built for War, man. I was just getting dumber by the minute as I was listening to it. It's like, Built for War. What are you think your fists are for? Like, I was like, wow, what the fuck? Did somebody like take away Dave Xanax or something? I didn't fucking understand this album. It has that song, The Blackest Crow. That's about his mother-in-law, like, suffering from Alzheimer's. I fucking hate this album, so I don't revisit it. I revisited, like, 5 fucking minutes ago, and nothing has changed. So that's number 15. Number 14, we're going to go 2009. Boom. 2009, we're going to go Endgame. And it's not like I don't like this album. It's actually a pretty rockin' fucking album. It's one of those, for me, it's one of those slippery albums. Like, I put it on, and I can never remember, like, I can never link up the song titles with the fucking songs. I just can't. I don't know why. It opens up with that instrumental, didactic chaos. This Day We Fight is good. 44 Minutes is cool. That's about like the gun battle in the streets, like in LA, when it was kind of like the movie Heat, where like these fucking bank robbers just decided to shoot it out with the cops. And then after that, it gets fucking weird, man, because it's like there's cool songs on here. The title track, Head Crusher, but it was 1,320 feet. I don't know what that means. Or 1,320 feet. I don't, when I pop it on, like, I always forget these fucking songs. It's not a bad album. It's pretty consistent. It's pretty straightforward. At this point, and I remember seeing them on tour. I think this was, Chris Broderick was the guitar player. James Lomenzo played bass on this album. Sean Drover was still the drummer. And Dave was, of course, Dave. This is one of those albums without Junior. Might want to get used to that again. Endgame, number 14. Number 13, I'm going to go 2016. I'm going to go Dystopia. Got another new guitar player, Kiko. He's from like Argentina, right? Kiko Larerio. Kiko Larerio. This has Dave Ellefson on it and Chris Adler on drums. Dystopia is a cool album. Like, I liked it. I love The Threat Is Real. The opening track is fucking great. And Mustaine always had, like, this fucking knack for coming out with, like, a fucking great opening track. The only problem I have with this album is then it just kind of melds together. And, there's a lot of political shit on here because Dave loves to talk shit, political, like, post-American world. Conquer or Die. What else? Fatal Illusion, that was the single. That's a cool song. The title track's cool. Death from Within. It's a cool album. It's just like, it's kind of like Endgame. It's a good album. Fuck, I put it on. I'll fucking listen to it. There's nothing on there that just blows me away. It's not like Super Collider where the fucking lyrics are fucking retarded. But at the same time, it doesn't do a lot for me. It's like listening to a fucking Disturbed album. It's like, I like it, but it like fucking blends together after a bit. And then you're just like, well. So that's number 13, Dystopia. I gotta tell you, it was really hard to fucking do. This is probably one of the hardest ones I've done so far. And I've done Ozzy, I did Dio, like his whole, like, you know, from Elf all the way into, like, you know, Heaven and Hell, the end. And I did Ozzy, I did Black Sabbath, like the entire Black Sabbath discography. I've done Iron Maiden, Van Halen. Those were all easy for me. When I got to Megadeth, this was probably one of the hardest ones because I fucking love Megadeth. So, like, there's, except for Super Collider, man, all the other albums I fucking really like. Some of them I like more than others. I remember when they came out, I remember having the demo, my buddy Matt, the metal god. Always got to mention Matt because he's the one that kind of, like, linked me to fucking thrash metal. I mean, he totally did. He used to give me shit and be like, here, fucking listen to this, will blow your fucking mind. But I remember he gave me a tape. I've told this story before, and I still have it somewhere. And on the tape, it was the demo with Exodus with Kirk Hammett. It was the No Life Till Leather demo with Dave Mustaine in Metallica. And then it was the Killing Is Your Business and Business Is Good demo with Dave. So it was like Kirk versus Dave. And he gave me it on a cassette tape. And that was my first introduction to fucking Megadeth, you know. And my first introduction to Mustaine was on the No Life Till Leather fucking demo with Metallica. So I have a long history with Megadeth. But I was never, like, in the early days, I was never a huge fucking fan. I was a Metallica kid. Sorry. I fucking loved Metallica. I still love Metallica. They're one of my favorite bands, too. So you get Mustaine and you get fucking Hetfield and, you know, fuck. You don't have to draw lines in the sand. I don't. I used to when I was a kid, when, you know, we were more, like, you know, standoffish about shit. I was just talking about it on my Black Sabbath show that I did where I was like, when Tony Iommi came out with 7 Star, you know, Black Sabbath featuring Tony Iommi, we as kids, we fucking hated it just because we felt we needed to, like, because it felt like a lie. And it's funny because that's actually a good album. So if we hadn't been 16 and closed-minded, who knows what would have happened, you know? Same with Megadeth. I didn't really draw sides. I just kind of never really noticed Megadeth. I wasn't ever really huge into fucking thrash. You know, I listened to Anthrax. I wasn't a huge Slayer fan. I loved Megadeth to a point. And, you know, you'd see the videos on the TV, fucking P-Cells and shit like that. And then, but I was a huge fucking Metallica. I love fucking Metallica. I probably love Metallica and Anthrax more than I loved Megadeth. And then after that, you know, I didn't get into, like, super into fucking Megadeth until much later, which is a funny story, and I'll tell it when I get to that album. But, so to me, some of the earlier stuff, I know people cherish it. I know people look at, like, P-Cells, and that's, like, their fucking greatest fucking thrash album of all time. And I get it, man. I fucking listened to it, like, 20 minutes ago. It's fucking genius. But some of the early stuff, even with Metallica, even with, you know, like the first album that Anthrax did, you know, with that head with the bass, you know, metal thrashing mad, or, you know, this shit was juvenile. Kill 'Em All was fucking juvenile. Killing Is My Business was juvenile. You know, even on up into some of the later albums. Metallica kind of threw that out real quick. But some of the bands kind of held on to that metal, beat your parents kind of shit. And I didn't really fucking go for that. I was more like, I loved bands like Maiden who, like, you know, read shit, you know, like Whom the Bell Tolls, you know, fucking Ernest Hemingway, you know, The Thing That Should Not Be. It was about the Call of Cthulhu from fucking H.P. Lovecraft. You know, I fucking loved shit like that. I loved it when bands fucking were literate, you know. They didn't have to be these dirty fucking, you know, just aggressive bullshit. I don't mind aggression. Aggression's fucking cool, you know. But at the same time, don't be a fucking retard, because, you know, I was a smart kid. I wasn't a fucking, dude, let's go fucking drink some vodka and fucking beat up old ladies. totally stereotyping. Fuck them. I don't care. Those kids were there. I went to school with them. I don't know if they were beating up old ladies though. But anyways, so some of the albums that people cherish, like I always do with my show, I pick albums that I would put on right now, and that's kind of how I rank them. Not it's the best album, because nobody could say. You can never. Music is subjective, so you can't. The album that you think is perfect, I probably don't. I want to pick them in the order that I say, oh, I fucking really enjoy that album. I'll fucking put it on right now. Fuck yeah, I listen to the whole thing. I love it. Whereas some albums, it's like, I love a fucking bunch of songs on it, but I don't really feel like fucking popping it on right now. So that's how I rated them. So we're going to go number 12. We're going to go the debut in 1985. Killing Is My Business, and Business Is Good. I have like 3 fucking versions of this. I have the original with the original These Boots before they hacked it all up into little pieces. You know, that Nancy Sinatra song. And then I have like the remaster, and I can't remember what year that came out. And then I have the Killing Is My Business is Good, The Final Kill, which is supposed to be like, okay, Dave Mustaine is done fucking with this album forever and eternity. This is it. Now, I know he remastered a lot of the stuff, and some of the stuff that he remixed, he remastered and kind of added shit on, and people are like, oh no, you know, and it's like, shut the fuck up. This is the way Dave, who fucking wrote all this shit, this is the way he wants you to hear it, the way he wants to hear it, so fucking deal with it. I have all the fucking remasters. I mean, I have all the original CDs somewhere. I don't give a fuck. But these ones, they fucking sound better, and they're the way that Dave wanted to fucking put them out. So, I'll tell you what, I have a love-hate relationship with this fucking album. I remember when it came out, what was it on? Combat? I think it was on Combat. It had the cheesiest fucking cover ever. If you ever saw the movie, Trick or Treat, you know, with Ozzy and Gene Simmons and that guy Sammy Kerr, you know, was the dead rock star, and he haunted fucking Skippy from fucking Family Ties. He was a little rocker. I had one of my things where the guy called him a pussy fucking weak tit. That was like the greatest insult I ever heard in my life. You're a pussy fucking weak tit. What? Anyways, in that, you know, they show his bedroom and they have all the fucking posters and shit. And they had the cover of fucking Killing Is My Business. I think it was a poster on the wall. And it was, you know, it had that shitty skull with somebody glued little, you know, it was Vic Rattlehead, but somebody had glued the little fucking metal things. It looked like a fucking kid did it. It looked like some fucking maniac just fucking made this shit in like 5 minutes, and they just took a picture of it and put it on the fucking album. That wasn't supposed to be the original. The original was supposed to be the actual artwork that they did on the remaster, which is just a drawing with a bunch of bones and shit hanging off the skull of Vic Rattlehead. Yeah, that old one though, woo, it was fucking terrible. Last Rites Love to Death, it's a great fucking song. Killing Is My Business, and Business Is Good. That's based on the Punisher from fucking Marvel Comics. That's a fucking great song. Skull Beneath My Skin, Rattlehead, Chosen Ones, Looking Down the Cross. I mean, these are all cool songs. The Mechanics. Mechanics, yeah. Mechanics, okay, so what happened was Dave Mustaine was in Metallica, duh, and then right before they recorded Kill 'Em All, they kicked Dave the fuck out of the band because he was fucking mean drunk and they fucking couldn't stand him. And I think the fucking record company, which was Metal Blade, right? It was Johnny Z or whatever. He was like, get rid of your fucking guitar player, he's an asshole. And they called up Kirk Hammett and said, dude, come play on our album. And all the songs were written already to go. And Dave wrote a lot of them. And he claims that he wrote ones all the way into now. They're still using his shit, 40 years later. But But okay, so they came out with this Four Horsemen, which Dave wrote with them, with Hetfield and Ulrich Lars. And then when he came out with his shit, he came out with the Mechanics, which is basically the same fucking song, except for he changed the lyrics to somebody working on a fucking car. It's not superior. I remember seeing him live. He's all, this is the way this song's supposed to be done. Now, the weird thing is they had Mechanics on the fucking No Light Till Leather demo. So, this was an actual version of that song. I don't know if they were playing around and said, let's do Four Horsemen and let's do fucking, Mechanics. But I like Four Horsemen better. Horsemen are drawing nearer, another steezy ride. They come to take your life. Not, I do it for my life. I'm working on a fucking car. Yeah, I don't fucking know. The song's kind of lame. So, yeah. And then it has These Boots, which was like a Nancy Sinatra song, but apparently the guy who fucking wrote it, when they put it on the original, Dave says, like, all you do is screw in and whatever. It's not hardcore, like, pornography, like, but I mean, people took offense to it. Or I guess the guy who wrote the song took offense to it. So when they came out with the remaster, he wouldn't give them fucking permission. He was like, fuck you. So they put on this chopped up fucking version of it. It was fucking terrible, but I have the original, so I just put it on. And then I think the remaster has the actual original remastered. So that's it, man. Number 12, Killing Is My Business. Business is good. That's why these guys are part of the, the big four. And this came out in 85. I think it was mostly written in 84, but, this was right around Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, Megadeth. Those guys were the guys that, like, not only, like, created thrash, but also brought it into, like, popularity. I mean, it was really underground when it was first coming out, but then all of a sudden, fuck, by the mid-80s, fucking thrash was like, these guys were all fucking headlining their own tours and shit, so. Well, except for Megadeth. They weren't. I mean, they played, like, clubs and shit, but I saw them open for Priest on the Painkiller tour. Painkiller! 1990. What was that? Was it? Fuck. Yeah, 1990 or 91. I want to say it was on. I don't know if it was on the Rust in Peace tour. I remember that though. That was fucking crazy. Fucking Megadeth and fucking Priest. Woo. All right, so now we're gonna go. Number 11 is 1999's Risk. A lot of people fucking shit on this album. They fucking hate it. This is the last album with Marty Friedman. Prince of Darkness is fucking awesome. I could do without Insomnia. Enter the Arena, Crush 'Em was like a fucking song they did for like Duke Nukem or something. I could fucking live without that. I fucking dig Breadline. Doctor's Calling is kind of annoying. I'll Be There, it's alright. I like Wanderlust is a good song. Time the Beginning and Time the End are fucking great. So, people fucking shit on this album. They thought it was like super commercial and shit. And maybe it is. I don't fucking know. Because I don't really like listen to an album and say, oh, that's fucking commercial. I just kind of listen to like, what do I like and what don't I like. And I fucking, dude, Prince of Darkness? Jesus, that song's fucking boom. It's fucking great. Prince of Darkness. The most beautiful angel. He's like saying all this fucking evil satanic shit. It's fucking awesome. Prince of Darkness, man. Oh, and then fucking Breadline. Oh, Breadline. I can't fucking remember it right now off the top of my head. Like, how's Breadline go? Got no smoke. No, ain't got no smoke. Here I am, living on the bread. I can't remember that fucking song, but it's fucking awesome. If I popped it on right now, I'd be like, oh yeah, duh. But I've been listening to too many songs this morning, so it's hard for me to like go, oh yeah, Insomnia, yeah. I just fucking hate songs where they're fucking like either Doctor's Calling and fucking Insomnia. They just have this fucking annoying warble to them that I just not happy with. So that is number 11. Number 10, we're gonna go 2007. We're gonna go United Abominations. And I saw them open for Heaven and Hell on Ronnie James Dio's last tour with Sabbath, with Heaven and Hell. Ronnie died like 3 years later, but they didn't really tour on the last album because Ronnie got sick. I think they did a couple of shows and then Ronnie got sick. And then they really never toured on The Devil You Know. So this was really like the final Sabbath with Dio. Even though they called it Heaven and Hell, which we all know. Sharon Osbourne could change the fucking name. It was still Black Sabbath with fucking Ronnie James Dio. But, and we got to see fucking Megadeth open. I remember this was such a great fucking show because when United Abominations came out, I remember getting it, and I love fucking Sleepwalker. Once again, another fucking great opening fucking track, and it's fucking vicious, where he's like talking about like rolling you up, your dead body up in the fucking carpet, Washington is next. There was a lot of political shit on this album. Let's see. Never Walk Alone, Call to Arms, United Abomination. It was all right. Fucking Gears of War. Now, a lot of people like kind of, attribute this to the fucking video game Gears of War, but it didn't really have anything to do with that. This is a fucking badass song. Gears of War. Gears of War. Gears of War. Me and my buddy Ryan, we used to listen to this and we'd be like, fuck Gears of War. Such a fucking cool song. Blessed Are the Dead's a fucking cool song, and that's funny because that's actually about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Oh, finally got to the 4 horsemen all these years later. He redid a Tulamond with that chick from Lacuna Coil. What's her name? Like Scabia or something, right? Her last name. That was cool. I mean, it wasn't really like, oh God, I hope Dave redoes a Tulamond. Burnt Ice is cool. This is a cool album. I really dug it. I listened to it a lot. There's no bad songs on here. There's just like a couple of songs though that just pop. And Gears of War, Sleepwalker, fucking Blessed Are the Dead. Those are the fucking 3 that just genius. So that was number 10. Number 9, and here's my story about Megadeth. So for a lot of years, I really wasn't into Megadeth. I was more into Metallica. Not that, I was like rooting against Dave. I was just more into Metallica and different shit. Megadeth to me was like kind of obnoxious. I had seen him in that movie, Rise and Fall of, The Decline of the Western Civilization to the Metal Years, where Dave's sitting in the studio and he's singing In My Darkest Hour while he's smoking a cigarette with a backward trucker hat on, being all cool. He was fucking heroined out of his fucking skull at that time. But for me, I had, I bought their albums, because we were kids. We all, you bought what the other kids liked too, and you fucking listened to them. And I remember listening to fucking Megadeth, but for a lot of years, I kind of like, especially after high school and shit, I kind of wandered away from Megadeth. I keep saying Metallica just to fucking piss Dave off. He'll never watch this, so. But I remember, so years and years went by, and then number 9 is Cryptic Writings from 1997. I remember I was on, I don't know, I might have been on this is 97, so I might have been on LimeWire or something. I don't fucking remember. Fucking Napster or some shit like that. But I remember I was on the internet or something, and I came across this song, and it was called Use the Man, and it was by Megadeth. And I remember I was like, I remember I played it and I was like, what the fuck, you know? I haven't heard Megadeth in forever, you know? I wasn't really keeping track of them. Like I said, I saw him in 90 with Judas Priest. And then after that, I don't know, I kind of like was like, fuck, I don't know. So I remember I popped on that song Use the Man from Cryptic Writings. And I fucking loved it. Oh my god. Oh. What is it? See the man use the needle. See the needle use the man. It has one of those fucking greatest fucking lines in a song where he's like, he scores, he shoots. Instead of he shoots, he scores, because he's talking about fucking heroin. I fucking love that song. And so I remember from the seed of that little song, and I fucking listened to it over and over, and I was like, fuck, why do I love this fucking song so much? After that, I fucking went out and bought the CDs and shit, and I was like, which is stupid, because a couple years later, they fucking remastered all of them, and I was like, fuck! But, I fucking started eating them up, and, fuck, man, this is a pretty, shit on album. People don't really like it, but I fucking love it. It's got Use the Man, which is one of my fucking favorite Megadeth songs ever. It's got I'll Get Even. It's got Mastermind and the Disintegrators. It's got Trust. Everybody loves Trust, but I don't. And then I think it even has the Spanish version of Trust, which I'm like never popping that on. It's like, cool, Dave, I understand you can speak Spanish. So can Dave Lee Roth. See how that worked out when he did Eat 'em and Smile, all in Spanish. Like, kind of a waste of time. It's got A Secret Place. It's got Have Cool Travel. And I fucking love She-Wolf. She-Wolf is another top 5 fucking Megadeth songs for me, probably. Easy. Mother is all that is evil. Her lips the poisonous venom. Oh, fuck. That song is heavy. Marty Friedman, on here, of course, and Mr. Ellefson before he was exposing himself to the world years before that. I want to say Nick Menza's on here. Let's see. Who was their drummer? That was the only problem that I have with Megadeth is the revolving door of fucking band members. Yep, Nick Menza. Boom. Fuck yeah. So we got Dave Mustaine, David Ellison, Marty Friedman, and Nick Menza. The fucking great fucking lineup of fucking Megadeth. I fucking love this album. It's fucking number 9. So, boom. Number 8, we're going to go 2011. And we're going to go 13. 13. This was after Endgame. And like I said, I was happy with Endgame. I wasn't, ecstatic about Endgame. I saw him on that tour. I want to say it was the Gigantour. I'm pretty sure. You saw him on Gigantour, and they had Dream Theater on that bill. And I remember watching Dream Theater because I think me and my buddy George went to see it because George loves Dream Theater and I love Megadeth. And so each of us kind of got, what we wanted to see. And I've spoken out about, I'm not out against them, but I've spoken up about Dream Theater. Dream Theater is that fucking band that has 1 million fucking albums, and I own 20 of them. I think I counted the other day. I have 20 fucking albums from Dream Theater, including 4 live albums. And I just don't fucking get Dream Theater. I really don't. But yeah, they were on the Gigantour, the Endgame. But yeah, 13 came out, and that went nowhere, right? 13 came out, and I wasn't leery about it. I just fucking went and bought it. I was like, oh, cool. Fucking new Megadeth. Their 13th album, and it has 13 songs on it. Unfortunately for Megadeth, apparently the creative juices don't flow unless you're talking to Dave Ellefson. Ugh. God, that fucking... Ugh. Stay off of Twitter. Don't go look at it. It's disgusting. Now everybody's gonna... Ooh. Born again Christian. Ask your wife what she thinks of that shit. Ask Dave Mustaine what the fuck he thinks of that shit. I'm pretty sure Mr. Ellison just signed his fucking paycheck from fucking Final Paycheck. Dave Ellison. Peace out. Just fucking anyways. I remember I got this fucking album and I popped it on and I fucking was pleasantly surprised, man. It was fucking great. Sudden Death. Public Enemy #1. That's a fucking great song. Those two songs opening the album are fucking great. We the People. There's like, once again, there's a lot of political shit as always. They put New World Order on here. That's what I was talking about, the creative juices. They were, you know, I get detracted because I don't script this shit. I just fly by the seat of my pants. But they were trying to get 13 songs for the 13th album, and apparently that didn't work out too well. So they went and snatched like 2 songs from like the Euthanasia fucking era. So they put New World Order on here, which is a good song, but it's, why is it on here? It's already been put out. And Millennium of the Blind. Like, meh. You know. But like I said, it has Sudden Death, which is fucking great. Has a Public Enemy #1, which is fucking great. My favorite song on the fucking album is Guns, Drugs, and Money. Poverty will turn the life of any good man bad. Yeah. But though it takes a lover to, he'll soon forget what he had. Guns, drugs, and money. Oh, it's a fucking great song anyways. You know, like... drinking cold cerveza in a boiling hot saloon. Shots of tequila just about high noon. Outside a rail of under no man's land. Face down in the Rio Grande. It's coming to me. It takes a minute, but hey. Anyways, Guns, Drugs, and Money. It's a fucking great song. What else is on here? Black Swan is creepy as fuck. I don't listen to that with the lights off. No, I'm just kidding. That's a cool fucking song. Never Dead's cool. I mean, New World Order's cool. It's just, you know, it's old. Deadly Nightshade, not a big fan. 13, the title track's fucking awesome. So, I fucking like this album. I was impressed. You know, because that's the thing. It's like, Metallica would come out with albums, and I was like, But then they came out with Saint Anger. Not even fucking talking about it. But Megadeth never came out with Saint Anger. There's not a fucking album, even Super Collider, like, I could put it on and musically, it fucking sounds great. It's just lyrically, I don't like it. But it didn't sound like fucking nails on a chalkboard like that Lou Reed album that fucking Metallica did. That's the other thing. Dave Mustaine never recorded a fucking album with Lou Reed. So, yeah, Dave, you're one up on Metallica, even though they sold like 120 million copies of their albums and you sold like 35. Fuck it. You're still rich. Still got more money than me, so oh fucking well. But I dug this album quite a bit, so that is number 8. 13. Number 7, The World Needs a Hero. Oh yeah, World Needs a Hero. This was a weird album. Because right after this tour, like, Megadeth, like, broke up. Because, like, Dave slept weird on his fucking arm and he did some fucking nerve damage and he couldn't play guitar anymore and fucking Megadeth was no more. Which is weird because he ended up shit-canning everybody anyways. And then I think, like, Dave Ellison decided to fucking sue him for, like, $18 million for merchandise. Kind of weird shit. Anyways, I saw them on this tour at a little venue that we used to have downtown San Diego called 4th and B. And I used to see fucking Megadeth there all the time. Like, whenever they came down and they played there, I would see them. And it was a great fucking venue because it was like a little club, nice and fucking. It was like watching Megadeth in your fucking living room. It was fucking great. And I remember I saw him on this fucking tour. There's the tour shirt, by the way. World Needs a Hero. I saw him on this tour in 01, and it had to be, I want to say, a fucking week after 9/11. So it was like, my birthday was on the 18th. I want to say this was the day before my birthday, so it was like the 17th. I'll look it up and put it on here. But anyways, what Megadeth was doing, like, on Megadeth.com, you could go on and vote for your favorite songs, and like, it's like every fucking song in the catalog was open for fair game. And then right before the show started, they would tally all the votes, and they would like hand them the fucking set list, and they would go out and fucking play it. And so, and what we got out of that is the live album too. Not from San Diego, but we got the live album, Rude Awakening. And they did a bunch of great songs on that tour. So I just remember, like, it was a weird fucking, it was the first show, like, I ever saw, like, after 9/11, you know. Everybody was still kind of fucking weirded. And I remember one of the songs that fucking that got chosen to be on the set list was Anarchy in the UK from So Far So Good So What, you know, the old Sex Pistols song. And I remember Dave came out by himself and he started playing it, and he just stopped and he said that he didn't think it was appropriate to play, and then they kind of moved on and played another song. So it was just weird, but it was such a great show. I remember we're right up front, and I remember there was this like chick in a wheelchair like right next to me, and like literally like we're on the fucking barricade, you know, Dave's like sweating on us and shit. And I remember the whole time I was like, fuck, you know, like this chick's in a fucking wheelchair. I'm trying not to, you know, I'm getting bent like sideways over her, trying not to kill her, but yeah. But this is a great album. It has Jimmy DeGrasso on drums and Al Pitrelli on lead guitar, and then David Ellison and Dave Mustaine. And it was a fucking great show. But Disconnect opens the album. I thought that was probably one of the weaker opening tracks that they had in a long time. It's still a cool song, but it's not like every other fucking album had this fucking masterful opening song. Disconnect's cool, but it's not like my favorite song. They probably should have opened with like Moto Psycho, but World Needs a Hero. The title track's fucking cool. Where they're talking to the president wants to talk to Dave. You know, Moto Psycho. Hit the road to I don't know. You know, he talks about fucking Randy Rhoads, of course. 1,000 Times Goodbye is probably my favorite song on this fucking album. Burning Bridges is good. Promises is a good song. There's a lot of slower songs on here. Some of the songs you're like, eh. They did Return to Hangar, like it was part 2 of like Hangar 18. I never really liked Hangar 18, so when they returned to the Hangar, I was like, yeah, but it had Dread the Fugitive Mind, and it had this fucking instrumental that sounded like fucking Ennio Morricone, and it was called Silent Scorn. I thought that was a fucking cool song. But this is a pretty solid album. Al Pitrelli, only like a one-off for Al Pitrelli. You got Chick Ann, and then they got like Sean Drover, and then they got Chris Broderick, and then they got fucking whoever fucking else. It's like, Jesus. Then they get Chris Poland back, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think they did, didn't they? Yeah, whatever. I remember seeing them on this tour, though, and it was a fucking great show. Man, they played like a shit ton of songs, and it was fucking cool as shit. So that is my number 7. The World Needs a Hero. Number 6. This will shock some people, but I don't care. Everybody thinks this is the greatest thrash album of all time, or like 2 or 3. But I don't. It's cool. I'm going to go number 6. I'm going to go 1990 Rust in Peace. Woo! What? Matt, what? This is the greatest. No, it's cool. I love this album. I mean, we're in the top 6, so I mean, top 10, top all Megadeth albums. I fucking love them all, but I had to rank them. So that's why I said this was fucking hard. I had to go through each album and like go, well, what songs I really fucking love and what songs were okay. And this one, that's where this one panned out. Number 6, Marty Friedman's first album with Megadeth. I remember when Marty joined Megadeth. We all remember Marty from him and Jason Becker doing the like Shrapnel albums. They did solo albums apart, and then they were in a band called Cacophony, and they used to play all this crazy shit. And I was never a huge fan of them. My buddy George was, because he loved all that fucking Shredder shit, and I got bored with Shredder stuff quickly. Still love fucking Rising Force from fucking Yngwie, though. Right, Edge of Insanity, Tony McAlpine, Joe Satriani, fucking Circle with the Alien. That was that a Shredder album? Yeah, I was. Steve Vai, fucking Flexible. That wasn't a Shredder album. Maybe later, like Passion to Warfare, but anyways, Marty Friedman joins the band. Little Marty Friedman, who's like 3 feet tall. He's really short, Marty Friedman is. I don't know how tall he is, but he wears these giant fucking shoes. And I saw him play at the fucking NAMM show one year. And gotta edit that cough out, huh? I'm still fighting the fucking cold. I saw him at the NAMM show, and I remember he played this fucking great set. It was over at Roland. He played like 3 or 4 songs, and it was fucking incredible. He's such an incredible guitar player. It's weird, though, because he picks all weird. His like arms all folded up. But I remember I recorded him, and I was like, I have it. It's fucking great. But I remember he had these fucking Gene Simmons fucking combat boots on, though, that fucking literally had heels like this high, because he's like 5'2" or some shit, 5'6" with the hair. But yeah, I remember when he joined Megadeth, I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't really a big Marty Friedman fan, but he fit right the fuck in. Like, if there was any of those little Shredder kids, and they all went on to do different. Jason Becker went to play with David Lee Roth on the Little Ain't Enough album, and then that's when his Lou Gehrig disease kicked in, and poor Jason's been bedridden ever since, but he's still fucking alive, which is fucking amazing, because that guy was supposed to be dead like 30 fucking years ago, and what a fucking that's fucking awesome. Vinnie Moore went into UFO at some point. Yngwie is just being Yngwie. Steve Vai, played with David Lee Roth, and he played with White Snake. Now he's, he played a couple songs with Ozzy on fucking Osmosis and shit. Joe Satriani joined the Circle with Sammy Hagar and Michael Anthony, or was it the Circle? No, it was Chickenfoot. The Circle's with that dude. What's his name? Guy from the Bus Boys. Vic Johnson. Vic Johnson, right? Fucking John Bonham. Or Jason Bonham. John Bonham, because he would... Terrible. And Michael Anthony. Pint-sized, whiskey-sipping bass player Michael Anthony. They're all pint-sized, but, so is Marty Friedman. But I digress. Anyways, Rust in Peace, man. It has fucking Holy Wars. If there was nothing else on this album, it has fucking Holy Wars, which is one of the fucking greatest Megadeth songs fucking ever, Fuck. The punishment due, Doesn't mean I'm not thinking it. Oh, Holy Wars. Across the street, wait, sheep's like me. Across the street, and come to foreign lands. That's a sheep, but that believes. Holy Wars. Wait. This song came about because Dave Mustaine was in fucking Ireland playing a song, and for some reason, like, he got a beer or something, and he's like, to the Troubles. Now, Dave Mustaine's not Irish, and you know, the Catholics versus the Protestants, you know, trying to, you know, give the fucking. Well, he said something stupid like, give Ireland back to the Irish or some bullshit like that. Anyways, it started this fucking riot. The Protestants started beating the shit out of the Catholics and all this fucking shit because he didn't understand it. And so that's what this song's kind of all about, because he says, like, you know, brother will kill brother, spilling blood across their land. Killing for religion, something I don't understand. And that's the whole reason why Dave wrote this song, is because he had no fucking idea what the Troubles were, and he blamed it on, like, he was misinformed by some, like, bootleg t-shirt vendor or some shit like that. So he started a fucking riot in another country because he was, like, basically talking about shit. Dave opened his big fucking mouth, and he had no fucking clues to what the fuck was going on. So that's Holy Wars. And then, you know, Punishment Due is like, you know, fucking Al Qaeda or some shit, you know. Take No Prisoners. Okay, it has Hangar 18, and I know everybody, oh, I love Hangar 18. I don't. I think Hangar 18 is, like, cool, but it's not, like, my favorite song on this album. Take No Prisoners. Take no shit. Lucretia has that Tornado of Souls. Fuck. Rest in Peace, Polaris. I think the remaster, they tack on, like, My Creation. It's a little blurb. I don't like Hangar 18. I'm not a big, huge fan of Five Magics or Poison Was the Cure, and Dawn Patrol is alright. You know, it's kind of post-apocalyptic Dave commentary. So that's kind of why this ended up at number 6. Now, the thing with this is 1990, and you got to look at it. Well, they came out with Rust in Peace, and then what? Metallica came out with the fucking Black Album, and so, you know, Megadeth was the thing with Megadeth is they were staying true to thrash. They weren't at this point getting all commercial. That people blamed them, and later on for getting commercial on, like, Euthanasia and stuff like that. But you know, these guys wanted to make money. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you got to buy your house and your car and feed your fucking kids. So you could be a fucking diehard metal fucking douche and live in a cardboard box, or, you know, you could fucking do something to make some serious fucking money. So, but this album definitely, in 1990, it's still fucking stellar. I mean, you listen to it musically and it's fucking stunning. You know, it's a fucking thrash album. It's still thrash. Whereas, you know, other bands were doing different things, except for Slayer. You know, they were never commercial. So that was number 6. Rest in Peace. So number 5. Going to go all the way back to 1986, and we're going to go, whoa, to Peace Cells, but who's buying? Down, you know, that had the bass line that Dave Mustaine wrote. You know, don't give David Ellison any fucking credit, because he didn't fucking write that. That was fucking all Dave Mustaine. He'll fucking tell you that. But remember, that bass line was the intro to, like, MTV News for, like, ever. You know. This is one of those albums that I know, like, a lot of people post as their number 1 fucking Megadeth album of all time. They're just like, it's so fucking awesome. Had Chris Poland on guitar, had David Ellison, Gar Samuelson on drums, and Dave Mustaine, of course. And it reached like number 76 on the Billboard, which is shocking. But for a thrash album in '86, but you gotta remember, okay, so they came out with Peace Sells in '86, but Metallica came out with fucking Master of Puppets, you know. So a lot of people fucking love this album, and for me, I fucking dig it for what it is. If you listen to it, you got to listen to it with your set of 1986 ears, because for 1986, this was fucking mind blowing. Well, so was Master of Puppets too, but this is a fucking aggressive, fucking playing 1,000 mile an hour, fucking speed metal album. But you know, like Master, if you put these two together, and I'm sorry, but it's my personal opinion, but if you put Master of Puppets next to this album, Master of Puppets, I can't remember which one Master of Puppets was. We're going to say this is Master of Puppets, the right hand, and the left hand is fucking Peace Sells Who's Buying. If you do that, Master of Puppets is like up here. Master of Puppets is a fucking gem. This album, it has some great fucking songs on it. Don't get me fucking wrong. Everybody loves Wake Up Dead. I love it. It's great riffs. Fucking crunchy, fucking nasty song. But the lyrics are kind of fucking juvenile and stupid. You know, woke up this morning. If I wake her up, I'll wake up dead. Because, you know, he's like sneaking in after being out with the boys. It's kind of dumb. Conjuring, I always make fun of the Conjuring, but Conjuring is actually a really good fucking, you know, maybe not lyrically, but like musically, it's pretty fucking awesome. It has fucking Peace Sells on it, of course. It has Devil's Island, which I love. I'm not a huge fan of Good Morning Black Friday. I'm not a huge fan of Bad Omen. I'm not a huge fan of My Last Words. Ain't Superstitious is pretty cool. It's got the Randy Burns mix on mine. Ooh, Randy Burns mix. It's a fucking cool album, and it's a landmark album, and people fucking worship this album. It's number 5 for me, but it's not something that I go, oh, I want to listen to Peace Sells, you know, because I gotta get a little dumb to listen to it, because really, Wake Up Dead, I mean, it's a cool song, but not my favorite. Peace Sells, though, is fucking great. It's 4 in the morning. You know, whatever. Number 4. Saw them on this tour as well. This was the comeback tour, actually, because in 2004 they came out with The System Has Failed, and I saw them again, and I want to say it was at 4th and B. They love to play at 4th and B, and I loved seeing them at 4th and B. So I kicked. Was it? Yeah. It was at 4th and B. I saw this. I'm having a moment here, because I'm looking and I'm like, Jimmy Lee Sloas was on bass, Vinnie Colaiuta on drums, Chris Poland. This is the album Chris Poland came back, and Dave Mustaine. This was supposed to be a Dave Mustaine solo album, I want to say. Dave recovered from his injury and learned how to play guitar again. And I want to say this was supposed to be a fucking, like, solo album. Yeah, because it was like fucking Dave Mustaine. It was recorded in Nashville, in Tempe. Yeah, originally intended to be a solo album. And remember, Dave did that MD45. If you haven't heard that, that's pretty cool. He doesn't sing on it. He just fucking plays guitar on it. And it's, who is it? Bing. I'll look it up. MD45. Look it up. That's a pretty cool fucking album. Yeah, this was supposed to be a Dave Mustaine solo album. Because, okay, so here's the deal. What happened was What happened was around 2002, like after the whole A World Needs a Hero tour, the World Needs a Hero tour. Dave, like I said, he fell asleep awkwardly on his fucking arm. Can't remember which one. Doesn't matter. And he fucking sustained like nerve damage. He couldn't fucking play. He was like all fucked up. He had to go through all this fucking rehab and shit. And then like supposedly, according to him, he had to learn how to play guitar again or some shit like that. But in the meantime, he had fired everybody from Metallica. They came out with a little fucking like one-off EP. It was called Still Alive and Well. And that was just like it had fucking 12 songs on it, but it was all just like live shit and like had Motorcycle and Dread the Fugitive Mind, World Needs a Hero, and Burning Bridge. It had like a bunch of songs that had already come out on the last album. So anyways, so I guess this was supposed to be like a Dave Mustaine solo album. And probably, I can't remember. I know when I saw him, I think Ellefson was back in the band, or was this James Lomenzo was fucking. Trying to remember if like this was the Drover Boys. Sean Drover was on guitar and Glenn Drover was on drums, or vice versa. I can't remember which Drover plays what. I'm pretty sure. I know I saw them on this tour at 4th and B. Because I have the shirt. It's like in my fucking closet. Anyways, he comes up with this fucking album, puts a bunch of session musicians, and actually gets Chris Poland to come back and fucking play on the album, and it's fucking genius. I really fucking like this album. It has Black Metal Universe, and I remember Dave he would explain to you like live, and that's why I remember this so much, because he was like, oh yeah, I wrote this song. He wrote this song for like a movie or something, and then when he like saw the movie, he decided to like pull the song back and say, no, never mind, don't use the fucking song. So he threw the song on here. Die Dead Enough, Kick the Chair, Scorpion. What else did I have? Something That I'm Not. As Truth Be Told. Truth be told. Seem like it's a doorway. Truth be told. Hell's open for business now. Oh, fuck. Of Mice and Men. And then it has like, My Kingdom and Shadow of Death, which is cool. But I remember I saw him on this tour. I fucking dig this album. There's like a fucking like 6-7 really good songs on here. So that is number fucking 4. The system has failed. Number 3, we're going to go back to 1988 with Dave with his trucker hat and smoking a cigarette while he's in the fucking studio recording fucking Darkest Hour. We're going to go to 1988. So far, so good. So what? Got that weird Cheesemo cover with fucking big rattleheads, fucking paramilitary, fucking infantry soldier with a big gun. I don't know. It's fucking cheesy as fuck. But I didn't used to love this album. I used to fucking hate this fucking album. Because the production on it is not awesome. Now, Dave cleaned it up when he remastered it. But still, I used to fucking loathe this fucking album. And you can see it's number fucking 3 now. And there's a reason why it's number 3. Because it has Into the Lungs of Hell, which is fucking great. It has Set the World Afire. It has Anarchy in the UK. I could fucking never hear again. Because it's the dumbest fucking version of that song. And it's one of those songs that people cover that I don't understand why. I'm not a huge fucking Sex Pistols fan. I understand the Sex Pistols. I understand the meaning of fucking punk. I get it. It's all about aggression and not about talent. Anybody could walk up and grab a bass or a guitar and just play like one fucking chord and fucking and spout off a bunch of shit. That's my version of what punk is. So I don't understand. I like Motley Crue covered this fucking song. They covered the song. Most of the time, it's like a big dick thing. It's like you want to cover this song because it makes you fucking cool. You know, it's kind of showing some street cred because, oh, these guys like the fucking Sex Pistols. They're fucking hardcore. No, they're not. You think Motley Crue's fucking hardcore? They did it because they wanted to like act like they were cool. I don't really get into the fucking Sex Pistols, so I didn't think they were cool. I actually detracted. I was like, why would you cover that shitty song? Go cover all the young dudes from fucking, you know, Mott the Hoople like everybody else. The other 62 fucking people that have done it. Not a fan. Anyways, I love Mary Jane. It's a fucking great song. In My Darkest Hour, of course. And then Hook and Mouth. Now, In My Darkest Hour was supposed to be written about the death of Cliff Burton, which is like, Cliff died in 86. This album came out in 88, so a couple of years had gone by. But Dave swears he wrote the lyrics about Cliff, which is weird because when you listen to the lyrics, I don't know what kind of relationship he had with Cliff, but there's some questions that need to be answered. When you listen to the lyrics and then you're like, this is about Cliff Burton? Okay. In my darkest hour, no, you weren't there, you know. And no, you know, he's like, says it sounds like he's singing about a chick, so, okay, maybe him and Cliff were a little closer than we fucking knew. Who knows? We'll have to ask fucking Dave Ellefson. Oh, I got perfect fucking light. Oh, perfect lighting for once. Megadeth. I always see that backwards. Megadeth. Yeah. Okay. This is a fucking great album, but it has some detractors. And the detractors for me are 502 is fucking stupid. Anarchy in the UK and Liar. Fucking Liar. Not a fucking huge, monstrous fan of Liar. And I think, that was the song he wrote about Chris Poland, right? I think so. Yeah, because Chris Poland was this fucking druggie, and so was Gar. Chris and Gar, the drummer and the other guitar player, they were like fucking drug addicts, and so they were stealing fucking equipment and fucking selling it for drugs, and that's kind of why they got kicked the fuck out of the band. And I remember there's a fucking interview with Dave Mustaine where he said like him and Gar used to get into fights on stage. That's why he kicked Gar the fuck out of the band too. Gar's dead now. Bummer. But he said like there was one night where he was like hitting Gar's his fucking drum set with his, he had like a fucking, they played, Jacksons, fucking Jacksons. And he had this custom Jackson, and he was like, I don't know, he was fucking around with Gar, because Gar was throwing shit at him or something. I don't know, they were fighting for some reason. And then fucking Gar grabbed his guitar, and he picked it up over his head, and he's fucking dropped it, and it fell, and the fucking headstock like broke off. And I think that was Dave's first Jackson, because Jackson guitars were not cheap, man. And so he fucking went back and he broke it went into the dressing room off the side of the stage, and he broke like a whiskey bottle, and he was coming out. And I remember the interview because he was like, I was coming out to gut Gar like a fucking fish. And then they locked him in the fucking dressing room to keep him from killing Gar for fucking his guitar up. But the song on here, Liar, that's a song written about Chris Poland and Gar. Well, one of the, I know, because like they would confront him because they would be missing like equipment or something, and then all of a sudden they would have drugs, but their like bass is gone or one of their amp heads is gone, and these guys were selling their fucking equipment for drugs. So yeah, they were all fucked up. But some of them were more fucked up than the others. I guess Dave was still a functioning fucking drug addict, but I saw an interview too where he said he says in his book, not only should Metallica have kicked him out of the band, But Megadeth should have probably kicked him out of the band as well. His own band should have kicked him out of the band because Dave was in a lot of bad places, doing a lot of drugs and shit. But so far, so good. So what, man? It has hook and mouth. Oh my god, that's one of my fucking all-time favorite fucking Megadeth songs ever. Fucking hook and mouth. Oh my god, there's F is for freedom. You know what that means. It was all about the PMRC, which we all know back then in '88, or in the mid '80s, like the PMRC was trying to label fucking albums, and Dave and a lot of the people were speaking out against it. But PMRC, it was like Tipper Gore and her little fucking friends, got together, like the housewives of fucking Washington, and decided to go after fucking rock music, like. But yeah, it's fucking hook and mouth is fucking phenomenal. I fucking love that song. F is for fighting. We elect you. E we inject. Oh wait, F is for fighting. R is for red. See blood in battles they sped. E we elect him. E we eject him in the land of the brave and the home of the free. D for the giant, oh, your child, and they will cover your grave with manure. This spells out freedom means nothing to me as long as there's a PMRC. Oh. Oh, I fucking love that fucking song. I'm trying to remember it, but whoa, fucking great song. So that was number 3. So far, so good. So what? Number 2. We're going to go 1994. We're going to go Euthanasia. Euthanasia is fucking great. I fucking love that album. Marty Friedman, Nick Menza, fucking Dave Ellefson, and Dave Mustaine. Has that fucking... is that a... No, that's a fucking Hugh Syme cover. Like the guy that does the Rush covers, where the ladies hanging up the little babies on the fucking clothesline. It was fucking Hugh Syme fucking... the guy who does all the Rush covers. I fucking love this album. A lot of people were like, oh, they've gone commercial. This fucking album is fucking genius. I fucking love it. This is definitely, well, it's number 2, but, it's one of those albums that I would fucking put on anytime. It's got fucking Reckoning Day. Reckoning Day. It's such a great fucking album opener. Like, once again, man, one of those fucking album openers from fucking Megadeth that is just a fucking amazing song. Reckoning Day. Don't want no revenge. It ain't no payback time. There ain't no getting even. Here comes the reckoning. God, Reckoning Day is so friggin' awesome. Then it goes Train of Consequences, Addicted to Chaos, A Tout le Monde. Oh, Tout le Monde. Where he sings French. Dave gives us a little French lesson. I love Elysian Fields, and, that's such a fucking great song. Kind of overlooked. It was all laying down their arms is like cancer to their bones. Killing Road, Jesus. Blood of Heroes, never die, Blood of Heroes. I can't do Dave. I can do Hetfield singing Dave, I guess. Family Tree is great. Fucking title track. I Thought I Knew It All. Not a huge fan of like Black Curtains. It's cool. And then Victory is that little song where I had needles in it, where Dave's like talking about kicking heroin. He had needles in his veins and fingers in his eyes or some shit. And he kind of goes over like all the song titles, Dude, Euthanasia is fucking great. That's why it's number 2, Euthanasia, which leaves us for number 1. And number 1 is 1992's Countdown to Extinction. Wow! Countdown to Extinction. I fucking love this album. It's my favorite Megadeth album. Duh. Opens up with Skin of My Teeth. Jesus. Symphony of Destruction. It's like the easiest riff to play ever, and it's fucking awesome. Fucking architecture of aggression. Build the bones, cities, build the bones on the blood and sweat, mud and tears when you hold your eyes, when you know your enemies. Praise your architecture of aggression. I can never remember the lyrics, like, just out of my head. I have to hear it. Build the bone. Built on the bones of the dead with mud and straw, blood and sweat. You know the word when you hit. He's praise your architecture of aggression. What else we got on there? Foreclosure of a Dream. Got a little George Bush on there. George Bush Sr. Sweating Bullets. Everybody knows Sweating Bullets is the fucking video on MTV, you know, with Dave and a bunch of different Daves. And, you know, hindsight is always 20/20. Looking back, it's still a bit fuzzy. Mutually assured destruction. Nice story. That's fucking paranoid. The walls are closing in. That's a fucking great song. This Was My Life. That's a cool song. Countdown to Extinction. The title track's fucking awesome. High Speed Dirt's cool. It's not my favorite. Neither is Psychotron. Captive Honor, Ain't No Honor. I think on that one, you know, they do a little courtroom scene. You know, Dave's always been into that, like, where he's got to do a little commentary or a little, like, you know, newscast or some shit. And this one's like a court scene. And I think Nick Menza, like, plays the judge. And then the guy's like, you better believe in Jesus because your ass belongs to me. It's stupid, but it's funny. Ashes in Your Mouth, and then I think Crown of Worms was thrown on there with the remaster, I want to say. I don't remember if Crown of Worms was the original, but I remember, I love that album. It's fucking flawless. So that's my list of Megadeth! Boom! So number 15 was Super Collider, like a Super Collider, from 2013. And then we had Endgame from 2009, was number 14. Number 13, Dystopia. That opening track, though, is fucking genius. That was 2016. Then we have Killing Is My Business, but Business Is Good. Little Punisher. Spider-Man. We have Risk is number 11 from 1999. I gotta tell you, I fucking love Prince of Darkness. The most beautiful angel. Prince of Darkness. Oh my god, it's fucking great. Number 10, we've got United Abominations with Gears of War. Gears of War. Gears of War. Number 9, Cryptic Writings with fucking Use the Man. I've seen the man use the needle. Seen the needle use the man. Such a great fucking song. Number 8, 13. Number 7, The World Needs a Hero from 2001. Number 6, we got Rust in Peace. Killing for religion, something I don't understand. Okay. We've got number 5 is Peace Sells, but who's buying? Peace sells, but who's buying? What do you mean I don't pay my bills? Why do you think I'm broke? Fucking Dave, man. He's one of those singers. Like, he's not a fucking phenomenal singer. His voice is like an acquired taste, definitely. He's fucking classic. Number 4, the system has failed. Number 3, so far, so good, so what, from 1988 with Dave with his trucker hat on backwards, smoking a cigarette with sunglasses on in a dark studio, singing fucking In My Darkest Hour. No, you're not there. And though I reached out for you, because he calls him like bitch. I don't know how the fuck that song is about Cliff Burton. I don't. Read the fucking lyrics. It's mystifying. Number 2, we got Euthanasia. Yeah. Euthanasia. Blood of Heroes. Blood of Heroes never die. And then number 1, Countdown to Extinction. There you go. There you have it. There's my Megadeth. Yeah! Everybody stay metal.